fascinating report that you put out. Quite the list of companies affected: New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Yahoo, even Facebook. So it's not just fake news, it's actually fake internet users we need to be worried about now.
That's right. This was an extraordinary cyber forgery. The criminals were counterfeiting ad inventory on really all of the most popular websites on the internet and selling robo views of those ads.
Quite phenomenal. They're doing this in one way how are they doing this? Can you give us a sense? You got on the call with some of these advertising companies, media giants, on Tuesday. How did they react? How can they defend themselves?
A great question. There were some extraordinary elements of this attack. They were actually penetrating some of the architectural systems of the internet, so that servers that were under their control looked like computers spread across the entire country. So the robo-views that they were generating looked like the views of real engaged consumers. Real engaged consumers visiting name brand properties across the web. Now, the way that advertising is sold on the web is by the impression. In this case, they were serving video ads, the most expensive kinds of advertising on the internet. So many advertisers were eagerly bidding and serving ads to what looked like these engaged consumers. Now,
so Michael,
yes,
sorry. Two follow-up questions to that. Number one is, page views and counting of media hits has been an issue for over a decade. How much worse is this than what we've seen in the past, frankly?
Well, this goes beyond a measurement problem, because we're talking about a real cyber criminal game. This is not just a mistaken way of counting the metrics online. The group was systematically exploiting every measure of advertising success. The ads that they were serving looked like they were going to real consumers who were interested, who were engaging in the content, who were clicking on these ads. And the ads appeared as if they were on name brand websites, which means that this was really a counterfeiting operation. The money that was going to the gang was really meant for name brand publishers. So it wasn't just the advertisers who were victims, it was actually all of these websites as well. And we brought...
Right. And that's clearly an issue, but it also does raise the question, I think in my mind and probably other people's minds, how do we know the accuracy of these counts in general? We've had websites talking about billions of users and these hundreds of millions, numbers that are just staggeringly high, and you have to wonder if there are some general concerns about the viability of those kinds of numbers as well, and does this raise that issue as well, perhaps?
I'm glad you asked that question, because the industry has been struggling with those metrics issues for some time, and the call that we had on Tuesday was an action-oriented call. What's different now is that this news broke as part of a call to action on the part of the entire industry to expunge this group. So when we came together Tuesday, it was not to commiserate. Instead, it was to exchange the actionable data that was necessary in order to completely cut off the operation. This operation was substantially more sophisticated than, say, the DNS changer ad fraud ring run out of Estonia. However, we just ended it far faster than any such operation has ever been ended before.